David, a disappointing weekend to say the least. Your thoughts on reflection? You've watched the video, I imagine.
Couldn't have done any more. We a number of chances to win the game outright, didn't we? Against a good side as well, it must be recognised. But I think anybody that knows football will recognise that we should have won the game comfortably.
I was going to say, one defensive error gifted them the opportunity to take the early lead, but saying that, your side dominated for a lot of that first half and then totally in the second half. It's
been the case in the last few games where we've dominated teams and not put the game to bed and paid the price for one lapse. Oh, I would, if that happened to us, where teams only made one lapse, I'd be worried. But we've defended fine, but one opportunity to other teams have taken it, where we've had 22 shots on Saturday, and frustrating.
Gareth Holmes said to me a couple of weeks ago that at times we can make football out to be a science when actually it's an art. We can put statistics to any given situation. Statistics aside, have you managed to put your finger on what is going wrong for your team in front of goal?
Yeah, we haven't been clinical. In fact, we haven't put the ball in the net, and games are won on goals. I said that to you after Saturday. If you go home and watch Match of the Day and you watch the football yesterday, Tottenham dominated Portsmouth yesterday for long periods of the game, but didn't put the ball in the net and found themselves being knocked out of a cup semi-final. Portsmouth lapsed onto one defensive slip and scored a goal. So it's not just here; it happens at any football pitch in any stadium. But we've got to find the players that can put the ball in the net.
Did you personally feel let down on Saturday, David?
By who?
By your team.
Let down in terms of commitment for this football club, no, and there hasn't been the case. The only game I've really felt that we didn't turn up was Kidderminster away. We've had suffered defeats, but my players have shown the character, they've shown the commitment to this football club, and they're good people, and I won't I'm not being let down by them. I can ask more because I asked for that little bit more quality, and that's what every manager in the league and certainly the leagues above who get frustrated. We'd always want that quality.
Would you agree that you've been in a rut, a big rut, since maybe Christmas? There's been 54 points on the table, your side's collected 20. If we look at those statistics maybe in the cold light of day, that's almost relegation form.
No, I don't look at it like you do.
But 20 points out of possible 54, David?
I think if you look in the way we played in the last 6 to 8 games, we played some very good football without winning games. Yeah, that would concern me. But it doesn't with the way the context of we've played. I've got to find a formula that wins them games instead of drawing them, and that's what I'm here for, and that's why you work extremely hard. And we want more, of course we want more. There's not a day that you don't ask more. There's not a day that you don't go out there and give 100% and roll your sleeves up.
In terms of this Tuesday night, let's go through the injury front for you first of all. Any knocks from the weekend?
Only niggles, nothing major. A few hurt prides, perhaps.
Andy Burgess, Luke Foster, how are they progressing?
Luke Jones.
Luke Jones, sorry.
Yeah, we're obviously looking to see Jonah in training. He's done well, and he'll certainly come back into the frame. Probably not for tomorrow, but for the weekend. Burge, we'll see him on the training ground today. Yeah, we hope that he can, wrap up his toe and the swelling's gone down. So it gives me another good option, and I may well freshen it up tomorrow. We'll see.
So by that, David, do I assume there will be changes to the side that you put out on against AFC Wimbledon?
Yeah, there may be, because again, it's 3 games in a week, and there's a bit of fatigue in some of them when they play them amount of games, especially on that pitch out there where it's demanding. So there's a couple of faces that we might give an opportunity to.
Would those be younger faces?
One of them might.
Any more than that?
No.
In terms of Rushden and Diamonds, unbeaten in 11, they're on a great run of form. A side that Mansfield Town have struggled against in recent years, but it's a big ask tomorrow night, isn't it?
Recent years, we suffered an own goal in the last minute to them. I don't think we suffered. We certainly dominated the second half down at Rushden, albeit an own goal, which cost us on that day. We won there last year. and I think we drew here, so I don't think we struggled last year. They're a good club and they've done well, and Justin and his assistant down there, I know people I know very well, and I'll give them credit for what they've done, certainly. I think it'll be a tough game. They've got one of the most outstanding players in the league in Tomlin, and I feel that he could probably make the step up to the league at any time.
One deflected goal for you, David, and one win would maybe transform the feeling of this club, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and perhaps 6 points against Chester would be wonderful, wouldn't it? So there's a lot of ways of looking at things. I'm a very positive person, and I feel that that's the reason why my players have got the commitment, and we haven't had a little bit of luck. We would like that, as you say. You come off it Saturday and you asked me questions, but you also recognised that the performance was just short of the finishing touches, and they're the things that you're always looking for.
It's an incredibly thin line, isn't it, between glory and failure at this point.
Yeah, and as I say, people will shout and scream and holler and do what they like, but the fact is that we came out Saturday feeling down because we had enough chances to have won in an abundance of games, and that has been the problem. And we've got to try to make sure the players are lifted and keep in high spirits and work as hard as we can to achieve as much as you want to.
But in terms of the heat, shall we say, from the fans being on you, would you prefer that rather than the heat being on your players? In a way, you're taking the pressure off those players.
Well, when a player gets screamed at and when he's on the pitch, it's not doing him any good, is it? And obviously, especially when the commitment's there and the endeavour's there and the work rate's there. If that wasn't there, I'd be worried. But if when you go to games and you put as much effort as we do in, and we try to win every game, we don't go and try and bore other teams. We try and win every game. I'd be worried, but as soon as the fans start having a go at the players when it's on the pitch, it takes their mind off what they're meant to be doing. And I've never really experienced that as a player, thankfully. The clubs I at, there was an abundance of supporters, and never really experienced that. So it's interesting.
From that, David, I take it that it's a very close-knit changing room, and tomorrow night here on the Field Mill pitch, it will be the 11 players you have plus yourself, proving against maybe 2,500 people.
Well, we're here to play for Mansfield Town, and those supporters, the majority of them have got behind the players. There is an element here that certainly, obviously, want to turn on them and turn on me. I want the club to do well. We've always wanted the club to do well. We've worked absolutely hard as we can. We roll our sleeves up, and all I ask for the players is to be supported. Simple as that.
Looking forward to tomorrow night.
Can't wait.
Thank you, David.
Obviously, there are only a couple more home matches left. It's very important to get at least one win under your belt. Send people away with the bitter positivity, isn't it?
I think that's right, John. I understand where you're coming from. But I think there's, as David said here, is that there's a fine line, and there's been a fine line in many games recently where we could have come home with the 3 points and had victories. And I think anybody that knows football would have seen that Saturday. You've got to recognise that. At the end of the day, we've had 22 shots. Oh, goodness me.
There's just the 3 games left, though. People, if you didn't win any of them 3 games, then the cloud continues into the summer. Whereas if you get a win or 2, people at least go away. Well,
I can't do any more. I can't look. I've not got a crystal ball, and all I can say is that we're doing everything we can to put the best side out we can, and obviously compete as well as we can. That's all over us and my players.
There's differs in the squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's ironic, isn't it, when you miss your main man? You get 3 penalties. You haven't had any for a few months, and all of a sudden you get 3 in, and your main penalty takers off the pitch. And people have been critical of Robert this year, but he has a knack of putting those away. And without the other boys have been brave to step up and take them, and they were good penalties. But equally, they were 2 terrific saves by a young goalkeeper that performed very, very, very well on the day.
Was Duffus still his dad? Was that still a
problem? He was illness last week as well.
Oh,
he was sick. He had sickness during the week, and he was very honest. He said he didn't feel he could participate. But there's two games now where we would love to have had him his cool head in the right situations. Nothing to take away from the other 2 boys though. But Robert's got a good knack of scoring goals and certainly slotting away penalties.
Rushden tomorrow, obviously they're just about in the class now, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Quite mathematical, I think suggestions that they might rest Tomlin and Farrell because they've got knocks as well, so perhaps an opportunity to.
Well, Tomlin's been an outstanding player this year, and he'd certainly get in any team in this division. And as I say, when you've got a winger that can do what he can do, you've got a real good outlet and somebody that can not only score goals but supply goals, and they're worth their weight in gold, aren't they?